Hi, my name is Kwabena Antwi Boasiako. I'm a humanist, an engineer. What else? I'm an activist. I'm also an agnostic. I'm an atheist. I'm a socialist. I mean, I have a lot of labels that I identify with, but I think the most prominent one, I think, is humanist. Yes. Since I said I'm an atheist, agnostic, humanist, obviously I'm irreligious. I don't believe in any religion. I am not a person of faith, that is. How long have I been afflicted with humanism? Let's see. I think for half of my life. Because I started questioning when I think I was about 13. I think that's when I finished reading the Bible. I think it was between 11 and 13 was when I finished reading the Bible, and I started delving into world religions. And I think by 15, just before I entered uni, that's when I started writing on my reformative thoughts on the ideas of God. So yeah, I think 15 was when I became a universalist. When I was 15, basically saying that there's God in everything. God is not tied down to anything. And then by 17, yeah, I was an atheist, probably an agnostic then also. But then by 20, 21, 22, I started trying to tie ethics into my non-belief. And I think that was the beginning of my humanism. So I'll say I've been a humanist for close to 8 years now. Yeah. Again, that speaks to my agnosticism, right? I am a person who likes evidence. So I'm just waiting for evidence. And, you know, atheism is just my position on just one of the things I'm waiting for evidence on. Like the same way I really do not believe in aliens. I don't think there's enough evidence for that. So I'm an atheist when it comes to aliens too. That is if you worship aliens. And on generally everything. So for instance, on one of the most debated and talked about scientific things, which is string theory, I am an unbeliever because the evidence is just not there. You get it? So on a lot of things, I'm just waiting for evidence. So yeah, you can even add skeptic as one of my labels because yeah, I'm very skeptical. My default position is I don't know. So I'm just waiting for evidence so that I can move the needle on that. No, I haven't. I mean, it's been a journey. Always as a child, I liked myths. I like tales. I like stories. So I really loved Greek mythology. I still love all mythology. Like, to me, mythology is one of the greatest ways to communicate history, to communicate our growth as a society. And so I've always been somebody who was drawn towards myths and seeing them as just that, as literary devices through which we communicate our past and ensure our future. So yes, I've technically always been like this. But as to proper identification or identifying as this, I would say yeah, within the last 7 to 10 years is when I started owning my labels. You can blame books, man. Seriously, books are evil. Don't read them. Man, like, I read a lot. I read so much that even now I can predict how movies end. I can predict how songs, like the next words of a song. It's because like there's so much work out there, and then the language is very limited. You know, like there are so many words. We have like just over 5,000, slightly over 5,000 English words. There are very few permutations in that. So that means that there are also very few permutations in terms of storytelling. and in terms of like structure of songs or structure of storytelling. So you begin to see the patterns in all of these stories. You begin to see the patterns in all of these events. And once you start to see the pattern, you see that, oh, they are all the same. They are all basically following simple storytelling structures. All stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or like the joke says, they have a muddle and then an end. You fall into the muddle, you crawl out of it, and then you get to the end of the story. Or sometimes you just skip the middle altogether. So yeah, books. So if you don't want to be like me, looking all sexy, please don't read. Yes, I would say so, seriously. It's always good to live your truth. It's always good to be yourself. Like pretending and walking through life, always walking on eggshells is not a way to go. And another thing is that as a person who has some mental health issues, adding acting to it, I mean, already I have a problem with reality. And then now I'm going to have to act my way through life. Like I'm not being truthful to myself. So it's best to just live your truth and, be more real, being more realistic. It helps also with like facing life situations because you know what the situations are. And then by living your truth, you're able to be truthful to your own self. Because a lot of the time people lie to themselves. And I don't think that's a good thing. So yeah, it has helped me live my truth and be more truthful to myself. Challenges. You cannot live your truth in a society that prefers lies. So that's the biggest challenge. Like, I cannot walk out and then scream, I'm an atheist, because I do not know how the response will be. So I can find pockets in which I can do that screaming, and that is where organizations such as the one that I am part of, the Humanist Association of Ghana, does, like providing pockets where people can scream their truth. Another challenge is that you seem to be part of a few people who actually are seeing the truth, like are facing reality. Because you live in a place like Ghana, you sometimes feel alone because it's like, this bullshit is obvious. Why am I the only one seeing it? Or why are there so few people seeing that this is obvious bullshit? So, yeah, those are the challenges. They are the mental challenges and they are the physical challenges. Obviously, they are the barriers to success also, where people demonize your position, like, for instance, atheism, and then, therefore, you lose out on contracts, you lose out on jobs, or you lose out on certain communities or certain spaces. I perfectly understand that. The good thing with me is because I'm an engineer and I'm also an independent contractor, I navigate that a lot, and I try and let people also know that you need to learn how to navigate the waters, because yes, we are not wanted generally in a religious space, because our existence in itself is challenging to the religious beliefs, to their religious thoughts. So yeah, those are the difficulties that I face. Yeah. I mean, the friendships that I have found, the freedom to be, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like the people that I've met, the kind of spaces that I found myself in, the kind of encounters that I've had.
Why are you calling me with a Greek number?
And then, yeah, so friends like this, you don't need enemies. So, yeah, the kind of people that I've met, I think are the biggest pros. The kind of family that I've been able to make are the biggest pros, because I always say that friendships like these are thicker than any that could have been formed through bloodlines, and so I'm always grateful for that. Okay, so a little background. My family is not super religious, uber religious. Like my sister is a reverend. My brother, I think, is a pastor in training based on his Facebook post. My mom is a Malco Penny or whatever that is. My dad is an elder. My family has a church. So yeah, so you could tell. I come from a very religious family. And so in the beginning it was difficult, but then I found the trick was to be independent. When you are not dependent on anyone, you tend to be able to have your way. And also, I think I've been a great influence on them, on getting them to be a bit more liberal, especially knowing that one of their own is this liberal and is this humanistic or is this atheistic. So yeah, I've been able to introduce them to new ideas and all of that. But they are still religious. Like they are still very, very religious. And I have no problem with that. My prayer as an atheist is always that people are more critical in their thinking. I don't mind them being religious. I just hope that they are more critical in their thinking. As for my close friends, yeah, we always have these arguments and all of that. But then I surround myself with atheists and humanists, so yeah, I'm okay. I don't mind a bit of dissonance once in a while. It adds spice to the soup that is life. So, I mean, it's how a deer feels during deer season. I mean, you always feel like it's hunting season and you are the bait or you are whatever is for dinner. So you have to navigate it. I also feel like we don't give believers as much credit. Like we assume automatically that because they believe they are dumb. No. I think people come to their beliefs in various parts, through various paths, and we have to give them credit for at least believing something, right? So what we have to be challenging is the thought process that leads to the beliefs. And essentially, I think we need to have more conversations. We need to have get to talk to more religious people and find out why they believe the things they do. Because to them, theirs is the default position, right? And we have to be able to have conversations with them and challenge that idea that, oh, why don't you believe, rather than why the fuck do you believe? I think that should be the default question. And so, yeah, it just needs more conversations. Navigating it is difficult, and I must say, if you are not independent, don't try navigating it because it's going to be hell. Get some semblance of independence before you even think of navigating it. If you have to pretend, I think there's precedence for that. Like, think of it this way: that this is a war. It's a war on common sense. And sometimes you have to pretend like you are dumb just so you can get past the police checkpoints. So yeah, if you have to, I mean, you have to survive in order to fight the war. So please, survive out there. Do I think? No, I don't. Like seriously. Look, corruption is independent of religious beliefs. That's one thing that we have to realize. Like people are stupid first, and then they find excuses using their beliefs. People are homophobic first, and then they find excuses using their beliefs. Like we always have same reason why people can use the same Bible to not be homophobic, the same Bible to be pro-women, the same. So it's just people use their religious beliefs as an afterthought, as a way of justifying post hoc their decisions. Like it doesn't make any sense. So we can also have a very irreligious country still corrupt. It has nothing to do with the religion. What I would say is that the religion becomes another tool, another outlet, another way in which they can be corrupt. Yeah, but I'm more worried about capitalism than I'm about religion. Seriously. Yeah, I am seriously. I am more worried about capitalism than about religion. I mean, religion has an easy cure. Capitalism, on the other hand, think about it. Religion, with a few conversations, we can get people to stop believing in God. How are you going to get people to stop believing that, oh, being a billionaire is actually a bad thing? How? I mean, like, I see people who are broke, see rich people and then worship them. When the rich people, you can directly link the wealthy to why they are broke. But no, people are still going to be like being rich is better. So yeah, I think fighting capitalism is a much more difficult job than actually fighting, religion. Oh, of course. Again, religion is just another tool. You have to realize that it's just another tool in the political sense. If you were a politician, you would do the same thing. That is, if you were a corrupt politician, you would do the same thing. If you were given the option of, oh, I have this tool that I can use to divide the people, and then they will not see me stealing from them, and you're a corrupt politician, that is exactly what you do. That's why you have, for instance, in Ghana, the issues of the National Cathedral, and in the US, the issue of the prayer meetings and Trump being the most Christian president that we've ever got. It doesn't make any sense, but as long as it gets people divided, because again, people are entrenched in their beliefs, and that's one of the things that, as humanists, we try to challenge. Like, we try to find out why people are so entrenched in their beliefs. Humanism in itself just is so evolving so fast and so quickly that there is no way it can be entrenched in a belief. Like, your beliefs are always getting challenged. You are always getting new information, and then you have to react and become a new person, giving the new information all the time. So yes, I'm going to say religion is a great tool to divide people, but then also it can be a great tool to unify people. So to the politicians, please, if you are listening, obviously not, but you can use religion as a unifying tool. It has been done in the past. It has been done throughout all the civil rights, and even our independence was won on the back of religiosity. So you can use religion positively. Like, forget all of this money grabbing. Yeah, if you grab all the money and the poor have nothing to eat, you'll be on the menu. I mean, I think roasted politician with a side of beans, it's always nice. So please think about it. And I think that's it, right? All right, thank you. That was Charlie Papa.